Hey everybody, good morning, salutations, wagwan, buenos dias, sak pase. I don't know any more languages, but welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a beautiful day in South Florida, and you're watching Suzette Speaks on a Saturday morning. I want to say good morning and just bring a blessing, a greeting to everybody who's watching and tuning in here on Jamaicans.com. I'm sitting with my special guest for the day. Her name is Dr. Tasha. I want to say Tasha.
Yeah,
we friends
Tasha.
now.
Yeah, it's
Dr.
happening.
Tasha, aka Tasha Russell. She is a doctor of clinical psychology, and we're going to talk about issues today, ladies. I hope you are ready and willing to be transparent. And she's just giving us a sneak peek to what she will be presenting and talking about at, drumroll, the Speak Women's Conference! Yay, 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 yay. Okay, I'm excited. I'm just going to get everybody excited because the Speak Women's Conference is an empowerment conference that will provide a day of empowerment through 25 hand-selected women speakers. It's going to be Saturday, March 16th. It will be in South Florida at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Tickets on sale now, $99 early bird. Get yours now. And Dr. Tasha will be one of our featured panelists. So we're here giving everybody a little preview of what to expect when you come there. We're going to be talking about how to conquer obstacles in business, how to balance work and life. Remember, family and all kind of issues take up our time, and then you're expected to be superwoman at work. Yeah, I know the feeling. We're going to talk about emotional stability and mental stability and things that we secretly hold that we don't necessarily share, even though we look like we have everything perfect and going on. We got to keep it real as can be. The SPEAK acronym stands for sisterhood, purpose, empowerment, authenticity, and knowledge. So that's what we're going to be doing throughout the day. Make sure you get your tickets. Speak Women's Conference March 16th. So now we're done with the plug. And we want to welcome you again. This is a beautiful Saturday morning for those who are freezing your behinds off in the Midwest. Much love to you. You wish you were here. Don't worry. We'll send warm vibrations through the Facebook Live. But, you know, shout out to our people from Canada coming right down, Detroit, Chicago, New York even. A lot of the Midwest was freezing this week. So we want to, well, you know, we poolside here, so we want to share the love and let you know that it's good to be in Florida. But anyway, so I'm introducing to some and presenting to others Dr. Tasha Russell. As I said, I'm really excited that she'll be joining us and sharing her expertise with women and getting them right, getting them on the right track as we move forward into our destinies in 2019. So Dr. Tasha, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy
for having me.
This is our house, by the way. We're just going to keep it real. We're in her backyard. It's exclusive, and I'm just like, we're going to take over your backyard and set up. And she didn't have any problem with it. Oh, no,
why not?
But I love the fact that we could be outside and we can enjoy a day like this. You know, we want to share just the positive vibration of blessings and really gratitude as we start our interviews all the time. Just take a moment to meditate on something that you're thankful for in this world where so many things are going left and right. Sometimes we forget to be even grateful for even the little things. So as we think about that, I'm going to say, Dr. Tasha, you know, introduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are.
Hi, how you guys doing? I'm Dr. Tasha. I am a doctor of clinical psychology. I am the Association of Black Psychologists president down here in the South Florida chapter.
Big deal.
My brand is called Drive-By Therapy. So I will literally come to your home via telephone. Let's see, I'll actually drive by, or you can actually come to one of my offices in either down here in South Florida. drivebytherapy.org is my website, and I hope to hear from you soon.
All right, so she'll come to you. You don't need to go to an office, which is really convenient. Well, I love that. What made you
away the stigma?
Absolutely.
I always say, especially for couples, it's okay. Let's just talk on the same couch that you were just arguing on the night before. Why not? You know what I mean?
I love it because I think people, when they leave their house and they get into an office, they become different people. And all of a sudden it's like, hi, Dr. Tasha. I don't have any issues. That's why I'm here.
There are books on the shelves. I'm so smart.
Exactly. But when you come into their sacred space, into their home,
can't hide.
Oh my gosh, the realness. And I think their personalities kind of remain who they were. And you get to kind of probably pick up on all the unsaid cues that are occurring in a marriage. So tell us about who you help. Who are your typical clients? What are they like?
I work with addicts. I work with alcoholics. I work with couples. I work with individuals struggling with grief or anxiety or depression. I really do work. A lot of people ask, do you work with men? I'm like, yes. I have a men's group. A lot of times men need to hear that women actually want them to do well. That's a sideline conversation, but they actually feel great and empowered just to hear that you actually want them to do well and to speak life into them.
Wow.
So I work with men and women.
I'm really curious about that, and we want to shout out to people watching. Thank you, YouTube Live. Thank you, Facebook Live. I see Antonella Young. What's up? Latoya, thanks for dropping a hi.
Hey.
Don't be rude, guys. Say hello. Good morning. I really want to see where you're coming in from. Let us know where you are watching from. Big up to all the folks watching in South Florida, in Jamaica, England always chimes in. We get people
England.
all over from Africa, different countries there. So shout out to everybody who was waking up with us. Thank you so much for being a part of this experience. So as she was saying, she helps people through all walks of life, it sounds like.
Yes.
It doesn't matter the age, race, gender, any kind of background. So
Absolutely.
I really want to drill down. Let me toast it first of all before this conversation because the conversation always better with a little bit of spice. Cheers to just having you here and a wonderful
thank
experience
you.
coming up in March. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
The Speak Conference.
And we did it with grapefruit juice.
Yes.
It's really nice, actually, and refreshing. So I want to talk a little bit about the issues that you see that women deal with, because what caused me to help kind of start this Speak, if you will, movement where we do meetups, we do brunches, we always end up getting into deep conversations that unexpectedly, really call into question some of the beliefs we have about ourselves. And the facades we keep up with others. So is it easy when you're talking to a client to break down that wall and get real right off the bat? Or do you find that most people have this kind of shell or exterior that they're used to keeping up with, and they don't want to, be too real, be too authentic?
It's a good question. I literally say, and that's part of what someone told me why I'm effective, because we get to the core of the issue quickly.
Yeah.
So the reason is because I tell you, I give you permission to not be fine. You don't have to be fine. It's within about 5 minutes. It's just take your hair down, take your makeup off, maybe take your
off your
hair,
wig off.
take it off. You know what I mean? Take the glue out, whatever it is. Let's talk, and actually because the only thing I can do is actually match with your rawness, and then actually help you with that.
So why do people start like that? Are we conditioned to be like, how are you? Fine. How are you? Wonderful, blessed, and highly favored. Whatever your greeting is. It's amazing how people lie. And is it because we don't really believe that the person wants to know what really is going on with us, or we just programmed now to say that, we are wonderful, and despite having cried last night, despite having felt, anxiety in our beds, on the drive to work, wherever we are, people feel all kinds of emotions, and we really don't want to expose them. Why is that?
Oh my gosh, it's twofold. So it is a learned behavior. So someone taught them, right? Someone taught them.
Right.
Possibly a mother, possibly a grandmother, to just pull it together and look the part.
Right.
And I understand in a professional setting, in a personal setting, that you're supposed to, but then for that to be your walk of life, that's when it gets to be a problem. So the other thing is, a lot of us don't know that someone's listening.
Right.
So that's its own thing. You want to feel heard.
Right.
So why would I ever tell you how I'm really doing if I know you're actually just walking by me at the copy machine?
Yeah.
Right? You really don't want to know.
You just nailed something on the head. I think most people do not feel heard in their lives. Because you are at your job, your place of employment, and you're not allowed to, at least in the American experience, you're really sometimes, depending on where you work, encouraged not to be your true self, to be a worker bee, and come to work ready to work, and leave your emotional self and emotions behind. You don't necessarily feel comfortable enough or acceptable, that it's acceptable for you to be able to really kind of emote and be your real self, or experience what you're really feeling.
But it's interesting though, because once you do it, then you always have either the coworker or even a girlfriend, and she'll match it, or he'll match it.
Right.
You just have to bring it. You have to kind of start it off and initiate the fact that we're actually going to be ourselves today.
Yeah.
And the other person feels like they can actually be themselves, and then now we can actually have a real conversation.
I think that's very important. And I want to maybe get into a little bit about, I don't know, it's uncharted territory, guys, so go with me. Particularly of people of color. I think sometimes, especially when we get into environments where we're minority, or we're not the majority of folks in the environment, we can feel very compelled to kind of really adapt, and not just adapt, but really, I think, draw on a whole new persona I see people at work that almost, when you leave work, you're like, who are you and who are you? And it's almost like I think it was W.E.B. Du Bois who talked about the two-ness of the Negro, if you will,
the code switching.
and code switching.
Yes.
Is that harmful to us? I know I do it. To a certain extent. I'm an attorney, and when I get in the courtroom, of course, attorney Suzette shows up, and when she leaves the elevator, it's like, oh, whew, I can be myself. Now, I'm not talking about just a professionalism and etiquette. I'm just talking about a real, almost personality differential.
Yeah, you're actually telling the truth with that. It's called code switching, and unfortunately, we were taught that's the way we have to be as brown people to be accepted. It's unfortunate though, because we're actually pretty fly with whatever our dialect is, right? Whatever our boldness is, whatever our personality is, and so we actually have to learn to be authentically ourselves as brown and great and smart, right?
Even when we're not among a majority of other people of color, it's okay to be
yourself.
Absolutely.
I remember in Berkeley, I did this kind of publication with a few other grad students, and it was called Navigating the Ivory Tower. That's a deep phrase in itself. So we're actually taught, how do we navigate the ivory tower? Do we almost like dismiss what we are or where we come from? Yes, but we don't have to. That's what I think I would love to encourage, that we really don't have to be that way. We don't have to.
Exactly. So I want to get into some of the, I guess, most common issues that you see among women. I like peeling back the onion, so to speak, and I like when we get to discover things about ourselves through the stories of others. And I think a lot of times when we feel that we are trying to mask ourselves, really there are many more people that are experiencing what you're experiencing if you were brave enough to open up and share. So I think there's a beauty in getting therapy and destigmatizing it.
Yes.
And I think a lot more people, particularly people of color, need to be open to getting therapy. I know when I look at my parents didn't even, I was like, y'all need therapy now. But
I was 12,
they've been married decades, but no one has ever showed them really how to communicate. No one has ever showed them really how to deal with unresolved issues, or how to just leave certain things in the past without bringing it into today's relationship. Like, things have happened that hopefully were forgiven, but you never really let go. And it's at the most inopportune time that you bring it up and stab the person with it and be like, remember when you did? And you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
whoa,
those silent resentments.
Dagger.
Yes. Those are those resentments that will grow.
It's amazing. Is that a common occurrence in the human condition? Do most people basically have this tendency? And I want to answer that one first. I'm like, is it
a tendency for us to hold it in and to not actually?
And can therapy help us to work through how to properly communicate?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. So there is a tendency that we have this shame, and once we feel it, that we hold it in, because we don't. I mean, we know that from actually the couple weeks back, the R. Kelly business of just holding the shame and the guilt for way too long. Way too long. And we have countless stories about that for men and women. And so the idea is that, I wonder, if I say this, will you judge me? So that's the question.
Will you still love me?
Will you still love me? Will you still judge
me?
Will you accept me? Because what I'm about to tell you may make you look at me differently. So we kind of like love this kind of like rose-colored perspective that some people have of us, but really you have no idea that people will actually be more attracted to you when you actually let those layers go. Pull back the onion. Oh my gosh. Even think about it, when you pull back the onion or even cut away the layers, guess what happens? Some tears might come. And it means that you're actually getting down to the root of some things. And you may cry. And heaven forbid that you probably needed to cry for 20 years. So those are those tears that it's okay.
Some people have been holding on to them tears for, I'm talking about decades.
Right. And don't let me talk about the generational tears. We're actually crying for what grandma should have cried for, but she acted like she was fine too. Right. So she wasn't, and now we're crying.
It's the learned patterns, particularly when it comes out of survival. As people of color around the world, being colonized, it has helped to really bury a lot of hurt and act like everything has been okay, when you have basically been taught not to love yourself, love your features, love your body, love your hair. It's so much, girl, we have to come and do part 2 and 3.
Yes.
But there's so much about us that we were taught not to love. So what I believe is that when you don't love yourself, some of us don't even realize we don't love ourselves. You cannot love another human being. The Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. I ain't trying to preach.
No, it's okay though.
But I'm just saying, half the problem is that you don't love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you cannot love anybody else. The problem is not with the other person.
Okay.
So when you in the marriage that's not working,
Okay.
and the friendships that are dysfunctional, and the people that
Absolutely.
you're hurting and you don't understand why they're drawing back from you. I have a friend girl right now that's dealing with something with her boss, and I'm like, that lady don't love herself. It's not really about you. Her tearing you down or her throwing you on the bus and email have nothing really to do with you. It's her own insecurity, not having a mentor.
Oh, that's a great
and
lesson.
feeling like she's ill-equipped to be where she is. So one of the things I think that would make us a lot better off as people is if we did the work of figuring out who taught us not to love us.
Oh, yes.
Why we don't love us.
Oh, yes.
What experience taught us to be ashamed of ourselves. What experience taught us to hide behind these facades and deal with it. Because if we don't deal with it, we're going to get stuck. We're going to get stuck in ways that really preclude us from being the best mom.
Oh, gosh.
The best friend.
So true.
The best sister, girlfriend, cousin, husband, whatever. We got to really do this work. And I'm so proud that there are practitioners like Dr. Tasha who are here to help. So it's a frightening thing, Dr. Tasha. I feel like, sorry, I get on my soapbox because I see it all the time.
It's okay. But I love, one thing that I want to add to what you said was, even for whatever your friend girl is with her, what she's going through with her boss. So when you can actually get to a place of like knowing self, then whatever someone else's issue is, it won't even like affect your bubble. And you'll be able to say, this is not about me. That could be in relationships. That could be your mother-daughter dynamic. That could be the way it is that your son's acting. It's like, it's not the way. Oh, that's not about me. It's okay.
Absolutely. And I want to shout out, we having a conversation, but people online having a conversation.
Oh, yes.
I want to shout out Richard Johnson. Thanks Sharon for dropping in and saying hey. Antonella, you giving me the amen corner. Yup. Thank you so much. I saw somebody who said that he's Brooklyn, New York. What's up? Stand up. Thank you so much for watching. This is Suzette Speaks with Dr. Tasha, giving you a taste of what we're going to experience at the Speak Women's Conference March 16th at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in beautiful Hollywood, Florida. So I'm going to touch on this, and we're not going to take too much of your Saturday. We want you to enjoy yourself. But I saw a clip, and I can't think of who. Oh my gosh, my cousin sent it to me on Instagram. I can't think of who. She's sitting down with, it's probably a clip from the 1960s. I think it might be, oh Lord, I'm supposed to know my black figures. Please forgive me.
It's okay. Is it the top five?
Oh, God.
It's not the top five.
Hold on. I had it ready and prepared, guys. But in the clip, I'm going to find this for the next interview so I can make sure I say the right words, the right people, is that she was saying that, especially in people of color in coupledom, that she wants her husband to come home still with the outside, not pretenses, but persona that he carries with him throughout the day. Because what tends to happen, and I would love your opinion on this, is especially among black couples, black families, or people of color throughout the diaspora, we tend to want to keep it too real when we get home with our loved one. That is to say, when you go to work and you see a boss that you're not too fond of, you smile and you still say good morning, and you still say great meeting, Chuck, good job, Cindy, whatever you say. You give Cindy and you give Chuck your best. But for some reason, when we get home, we try to almost unleash every other emotion, sometimes predominantly negative, that we have on the person that we love, instead of still coming home with this sense of civility and this sense of wanting to bring us, even though it might be forced in the moment, peace and liking the other person and wanting to be in their presence. So I think it was, oh gosh, let me go look this video clip up and say the right name. But we were saying, is this true? Does the woman or the man in a relationship, however y'all do it, should you be required to still come home with, and for lack of a better word, this facade to maintain a sense of happiness and hope for a relationship?
I got an issue with this. I understand what she's saying. She's saying, wow, why do I feel like I don't get the better parts of you and the world does.
Right.
I can imagine that, your immediate family doesn't get your best parts. But that's unfortunate because it's almost like she's saying, once you become you, I don't like you. So then who did you marry? Because that's the guy, right? There's something about, there's a Kenyan professor, a professor that's from Kenya that lives in Michigan, and he told me this a long time ago when I was dating, and he said, make sure that you know the little man inside. Make sure you know that the little man inside is the man that you're actually marrying, not the man that you see. Same for, I have a little woman that my man's gonna marry, right? And so I need to make sure I expose her. So I'm wondering if once he takes off his...
Pause. Did we catch that? That's a word in itself. You're welcome.
You're okay.
You're welcome. We
yes.
can stop right
We'll pass the offering later. It's okay.
No, because it's true. What women expect, I just speaking for myself and my girlfriends, my friend girls, we don't get, because we see the puffed up exterior of the man that we like, girl, he's gonna be. Let me add this. My cousin just told me this. She said, you really don't know your husband until you have a child with him.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Because that is when those childhood issues he has held.
True. That are unresolved.
That are unresolved start to emerge. She was like, girl, my husband became a new man. Not that she doesn't love him, not that they're not still married.
Yeah.
But the point is, she was like, who is this? Cindy, who this? Who is this? This is living in my house with me.
Yeah.
Because she had no idea that all of this was underneath. And I think it speaks to exactly what you're saying.
Right.
That little man, that little woman, that person who wasn't told all of the most positive things when they were growing up.
That doesn't feel like she's enough. That's who came to the marriage. That's who you. Unfortunately, though, the one that at the first date, right?
Yeah.
At Olive Garden or at Chili's.
Not the Olive Garden.
Yes.
Falling on a budget, dating on a budget. I don't know if I like you. I'll take you to Olive Garden. I'm not going any deeper.
Because you don't want to just do Starbucks.
I'm not going any deeper.
You don't want to just do Starbucks, and you don't want to take them all the way to True Love.
Super salad.
But we gonna go. Yes, Super Toscana. The olives in the salad. Okay, we're back. But that salad is everything.
Listen, that Olive Garden used to be date night. Ooh,
okay, you
College.
understand.
Ooh.
Right?
He took you to Olive Garden. You was like, girl, we go to Olive Garden.
Yes. Okay, we're back.
Shout out to people who love Olive Garden.
Okay,
Okay, sorry,
it's okay.
sorry.
We'll find you. Sponsor Olive Garden. You want to sponsor next year? Next Speak conference.
Exactly.
It's okay. Next time. But the idea is that if she wants the guy that is out in the world, we have to now see who she actually like. Because that guy, he's tired. So that guy is tired of having to perform, unfortunately, for the world. That he actually just, he's actually being himself.
Yes. I think there's so much deepness that we want to go into, and I really want to thank the Jamaicans.com crowd for coming through with the commentary. We gotta wrap up in just a little bit, because out here is commenting, over here is commenting, Instagram commenting, YouTube commenting, Facebook commenting. But we really want you to understand how much work we as individuals have to do for ourselves before we can ask someone else to do anything for us. I think the outward projection of how we feel is oftentimes the ruin of relationships, because it really isn't about the other person.
Wow.
It's why you are not happy with you. Is why we oftentimes end up in intimate conflict, friendship conflict, all kind of conflict. And we really want you to spend the time to work these things out. So, Dr. Tasha, let the people know where they can find you and how they can reach you if they're in the South Florida area.
Oh, come on. So it's drive-by therapy. I will actually come to you, but you can actually go on my Instagram or Facebook, and it's Dr. Tasha.
She speaks
Tasha, yes.
Spanish.
Yes, that was my major at Spelman.
Hey, I was wondering. I was like, Doctora?
Doctora.
I love it. So she has multi-talents. And tell them about your event also that you have. I'm really excited.
Thank you for even plugging. Come on.
I'm going to come.
Okay, so next Thursday at Gigi's Music Cafe, we are doing I do a talk show called Drive-By Therapy Talk Show with the stand-up comedian Chris Priester, the teacher. And the topic is, how do your good or bad daddy issues show up in relationships?
Ooh.
How do your good or bad daddy issues show up in relationships? Because we always acknowledge, oh, well, he was absent, so now you don't know how to be with the man. But what about your good daddy issues? You actually had a really good dad, so you expect integrity. You don't understand when they lie to you. You don't understand broken promises. So we got to find out, like, what do you have, good or bad daddy issues, and how do they show up?
That is so deep. So I want to continue the conversation, but we're going to leave you wanting more. Once again, check us out on Eventbrite. Speak Women's Conference, Saturday, March 16th. And we're going to sign off. A lot more later. Check out the Suzette Speaks page. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful week.